Hello once again, folks. It is June 13th, 2019, and we are coming at you from Long Beach, California. How are you doing today? Now, a lot of times we talk about political stuff, but we're going to change it up today, okay? I thought it'd be fun, folks, to talk about some classic TV shows. I mean, I'm talking about shows like Sanford and Son, Three's Company, Good Times, Happy Days, Laverne and Shirley. Now these are shows, just a select group of shows that I used to, like many people, watch when I was growing up. And I'm here to tell you, they just do not make TV shows like they used to. Today, for the most part, all we get is reality TV and game shows and the news. Now let's break it down a little, okay? Now, I find myself so often watching many of these classic TV shows that I grew up on. I mean, I go home at night and for the most part, I'm watching news shows. I'm watching like Me TV and TV Land. And, you know, these are many of these shows that I've mentioned. I mean, they got Different Strokes. Now, what a concept. Now, Different Strokes, for anybody that knows, was a show that was on in the 80s. It starred Conrad Bain as the father. And Conrad Bain, many people know previously from when he was on Maude. But now, in this show, Different Strokes, Conrad Bain was a wealthy millionaire. And he had a daughter of his own named Kimberly. And he was widowed. And so after his wife died, this is the premise of a story behind the show, he hired a housekeeper to help raise his daughter and take care of her while he was running his successful business. And then eventually the housekeeper and her husband die, and so she leaves her two boys, Willis and Arnold, with Mr. Drummond, who is of course played by Conrad Bain. Conrad Bain's character is Philip Drummond. And when the housekeeper and her husband die, Mr. Drummond promises the housekeeper that he will adopt and raise her two boys, which he adopts both Arnold and Willis and raises these two boys as his sons. Now, the interesting thing for anybody who doesn't know about Different Strokes is Philip Drummond was a rich white man, and his housekeeper's two boys, they were both black. Not that that should be that big of a deal, but back in the day, a lot of people would, first of all, not only think that two black boys should go live with a white man, but it showed people, that that stuff like that really doesn't matter, because if you got somebody that is willing to adopt these kids and raise them as his own, that's what family is all about. So that is one of the things I really enjoyed about that show. And yeah, and these were two black boys that were originally from like Harlem, a real poor section of New York. And then they moved into a big fancy penthouse on Park Avenue in New York City with this rich millionaire who became their father. Only in America could you get a story like this. Now, I've had fun talking to you all about this and looking back on one of my favorite TV shows. I promise we're going to do this a lot more. Okay, so as Arnold always said in many of these episodes of Different Strokes, what you talking about, Willis? We'll talk about that in a future episode, but take care and enjoy yourselves. It's been a real fun chatting with you. Out for now.